Hello and welcome to the middle of another highly questionable week. Sarah Spain with us all week. What do you like on the show today, Sarah?
I like the fact that somehow Jose Canseco is in the news.
Yes, always. That's always good. Dale, papi.
Should Carmelo rather play on the Cavs than the Rockets?
I want to personally thank Carmelo Anthony on behalf of this company for saving July for us. This is like the 9th or the 10th time I've answered this question in this month. I would like some pay-per-view coverage of the private conversations between Carmelo and LeBron James that is leading Carmelo to favor Houston, because I'm guessing there's some inside information that Carmelo has when Frank Isola of the New York Daily News is reporting that he prefers Houston. And if he prefers Houston, it's because he's locked up contractually beyond this year. And Cleveland's such a mess that he doesn't want to sign up for 1 year of Cleveland, not even if it's just 1 year of Cleveland.
Yeah, absolutely. Houston obviously has James Harden for another 6 years. They have Chris Paul for at least a year, potentially longer, because part of the reason he got that trade to Houston is so that he can get the max deal there and stick around. If there's some sort of banana boat reunion happening over in Houston, Carmelo wants to be there, not in the garbage fire that's Cleveland. They could be losing Kyrie now and will almost assuredly be losing LeBron next year.
Did you notice that she answered that with a freshness, unlike this television personality, who has answered it 9 times this month, and she is bringing a unique perspective because it's her first time answering it. But she's working a lot in August, and he'll still be in New York by the time the next time this question makes an appearance.
Call me next month.
Why the Cavs, they want all the Knicks now? You know, they got Derrick Rose, Melo, you know, they have Thumper.
Joakim Noah. Look out, Joakim Noah is going to be there for that last run in Cleveland of LeBron James.
I would honestly argue Dan Gilbert, the only way he can seem like a better option is if he's coming from James Dolan first.
Should the Suns trade Josh Jackson if he would land Kyrie?
I would not do this if I were the Suns. If I'm the Suns, I believe Josh Jackson is going to be, at the very least, Kyrie Irving in a future incarnation, but younger. Remember, and I think we all forget this because Kyrie Irving has been such a big deal the last 3 years. He wasn't a big deal before LeBron James got to his side. So what you trade to get Kyrie Irving, if indeed you want him, and you want to keep that core at 21 years old, you trade Bledsoe, you trade Jared Dudley, you trade a shooter, see if you could do it that way. Not with this young piece.
Well, the only problem with Bledsoe is Brandon Knight tore his ACL, which makes Bledsoe a lot more necessary there, so they might not get rid of him either. But the problem with Josh Jackson, if you're the Suns, is, look, we have team control over this guy for his first 2 contracts likely. We're not going to trade that for a guy who's got all the ideas in the world of where he's going to go after his 2 years are up.
Josh Jackson, you know, he hasn't done anything in the NBA. I look at the stat sheets, and he got nothing in the NBA. Everybody thinks that the guy is going to be a great player, you know. I think that most people could be very wrong on this guy, you know. Could be very wrong, you know.
All right. Most people could be very wrong, but he's not totally sure, and there might be some that might be very right.
That was a hot take by me, wasn't it?
Yes, it really was.
Hot take.
Yes. Most people could be very wrong.
Potentially, maybe.
Potentially, possibly,
arguably,
perhaps,
allegedly,
almost, reportedly.
What? No.
What?
He hasn't scored yet in the NBA.
Right.
That's right.
That bum.
Yeah,
he has not scored in an NBA game that he has not played in yet.
Why are we talking about Josh Jackson's 0.0 points average per game?
Score more. Win a championship, Josh Jackson,
Yeah.
then we'll talk. Win
Well,
a championship in games you haven't played.
You bum.
That's right. He got nada.
All right.
Zero.
All right. Settle
Nothing.
that. All right. He said that many different languages, many different ways.
I'm on fire today.
No.
Okay.
Sizzling. Stephen A. Poppy.
Poppy A. Smith.
Yes, that's even better. Bobby A. Smith is even better than Stephen A. Poppy.
How should the NFL respond to a new study saying 99% of former NFL players studied suffer from CTE?
Keep in mind, this is New York Times reporting that 110 of 111 deceased football player brains had CTE. And what you have here is something that feels dangerously close to proof. And what the NFL will do, that its league actually causes brain damage, is say, hey, the science isn't conclusive yet. You're going to have to attack this study saying these are people who volunteered for CTE study because they were showing symptoms. So, of course, they have CTE because the families donated it for study. You got to attack the study, even though the study sounds like proof.
This isn't what the NFL is going to do, but knowing what we know about the declining numbers in youth football and even some declining numbers in viewership, what they need to do is embrace the study. They need to say, look at this information we're getting. This is very helpful to us, and we are going to apply this to our sport to make it safer. Even if they don't want to do that, they're going to at some point have to do that. Continuing to try to derail the efforts of people studying CTE is only to bury their head in the sands for what's the inevitable decline of the sport if they don't make it safer.
Do you hear how Fidel Godot responded to that story? He said our guys can celebrate this year.
That is the way to do it, right? If you were trying to camouflage all this stuff, never mind about the brain concussions. Look at the leniency. So many touchdowns, so much happiness, so many celebrations.
Right, this year we've got Hingle McCringleberry, and he's allowed 4 pumps, no penalty. We're good.
What? More damaging brain issues?
No,
5 pumps.
Yes.
5 pumps you're allowed.
Go for 6.
6 pumps.
The Zach Bernstein blooper. Get Jose Canseco off the hook.
Okay, Jose Canseco is responsible for what I believe to be the greatest play in the history of all of sports. Not just baseball, because what are the odds of this happening to this guy on his head, home run, should have been a ground rule double, except, I mean, that's crazy. That's just crazy. 25 years ago today, so now we're saying in the minor leagues there was something like this. Let's see if there was actually something like that. What do you think, Bobby? I mean, wow.
No, again, what are the odds?
Not only was it like that, it was better than that.
There was more trajectory off his head. He has a harder head than Jose Canseco. I did not think that was possible.
That was not going to be a ground rule double. That was going to be an infield fly rule. It ended up over the right field fence.
Can of corn. But also, unless that guy goes on to have goats in his backseat and is missing some fingers from a poker game, Jose's always going to win.
Goats with diapers in the backseat. Not just goats. Goats with
No.
diapers in the event of, an emergency.
Goats with IBS.
You know, if this guy wants to be like Jose Canseco, he has to snitch all his friends for taking the PEDs, That's right.
Really? We just went to the goats and the steroids. We kind of bypassed Sarah's mention of his finger fell off at a poker game.
Just standard everyday poker stuff.
Coming up next on my son Stevie's show, Mark Rick.
Wait,
So
you
let's say you
lost
get
to the drunks?
a great serve and the next serve
Did you
stinks.
lose to the drunks? Did you lose to the
Yes.
drunks? You lost.
We lost every game.
My son Stevie show is brought to you by Burger King. Indulge in bold Italian flavors of the new chicken parmesan sandwich for a limited time only at Burger King. And Fruit of the Loom. Keep your cooling breathable underwear. And Nissan, innovations that excites. Joining us at the beach today, Mark Rick.
You know him, used to be the Georgia coach, 2-time SEC Coach of the Year. He's heading into his 2nd season at Miami. Let's talk to him. Mark, your sister was also very competitive. Were you the most competitive person in your household, or was there someone who was more competitive? She was a volleyball player.
Yeah, my sister Nikki was a volleyball player. My sister Mickey, one's Mickey Michelle, and the other one's Nikki Nicole. They're both actually volleyball players. Both were scholarship volleyball players. My brother Craig was probably the most competitive. He'd be the guy that in the middle of a card game would take the table and dump it, if things didn't go well. But the whole family was pretty competitive, actually.
Well, what is the story that still gets told at Thanksgiving or somewhere else about the fight in the childhood that is memorable?
All right. Well, the big thing I hear about the most is when we were adults, we were all at the beach at Destin. We decided to play beach volleyball with whoever showed up, right? So we're playing, and my sisters wanted to go back to the day, where you do that jump serve, and it's all real pretty, but they hadn't quite frankly done it in a while, okay? So they'd get one serve, and it would be impressive, I agree, but then the next one they'd, hit the net or whatever, and I'm like, just get it over the net. I mean, we're getting beat by these drunks over here, and it's not good, and I kept, I don't know, I was blasting them a little bit about trying to do it. We don't have to set it 3 times. Just hit it over. Let's. And so actually, Nikki was like, "Is that how you talk to your players? Do you?" I'm like, "Yes, I do." So anyway, that was the one where I got just about everybody in tears and not really liking me much.
Wait a minute. What were you doing? You just wanted the fundamentals of volleyball. You just wanted it hit over the net. You were mad about their inefficiency because they were showboating, styling.
No, the old, you jump, you throw up and you overhand serve. Well, I mean, that's the way you do it in volleyball in competition when you're younger and you're used to doing it and you're not on the beach. I mean, not to say you can't do it on the beach, but they weren't as proficient at it as they were back in the day.
Wait,
so
you
let's say
lost
you
to
get
the drunks?
a great serve and the next serve
stinks.
stinks.
Did you lose to the drunks? Did you lose to the drunks? You lost.
We lost every game. So we were all upset. I mean, it was a miserable vacation because of that, and I was the reason why everybody was bummed out. But I've since kind of, not really apologized.
You mentioned that your sister asked if that's how you talk to your players. Does your wife ever say that to you? Like, stop coaching me.
My wife, here's my wife. They have to know you believe in them. If you don't believe in them, they're not going to do good. And I'm like, you're right, honey. But they got to do something that I could believe in. No, I'm just kidding. So, anyway, but
I get that.
It's true. I have learned a lot from her that they do need to know I believe in, and I do. But sometimes when something happens, you just want to get on it and coach it hard, and they'll be okay. They know we love them.
Well, that was a well-answered response to the different question. The question I asked was whether you ever try to coach your wife, and she says, stop talking to me like one of your players.
I'm sorry. Oh, I would never talk to my wife like that. No. I'm very thankful for my wife. I'll say this. I live in paradise where you guys are. Okay? I'm empty nesting with the most beautiful woman in America. We're best friends. We're madly in love, and we're having a ball. So when we're not at work, we are at play. It's good.
All right, so how did it come to be that she was the water girl? When was that? That was not that long ago, right?
I think the biggest reason, two reasons. One, she wanted to get involved with the team. She wanted to get to know the players a little bit. And when I was coaching QBs, it was easy to connect with my position players. Then you become the head coach, and so now it's everybody. And that was one way. She wanted to connect to the team. And I think the other reason is, like an away game, when teams knew where the head coach's wife was sitting in the stands, sometimes it's not a good place to be. So, you're a little bit anonymous on the sideline. You're kind of doing your thing. You're focusing on serving and all that. You don't live and die with every play because you're kind of busy. And you're busy before, you're busy after. And then, again, she gets to serve the team and be a part of that. So that's how it came about.
Let's go, Poppy. What do you got for him?
Yes, Mark, what is your favorite thing to do with your granddaughter, Jaden?
Oh, look at that. The hard question for you.
Well, we play a game called Tickle Tickle.
Okay.
She'll come up to you and she'll want to tickle you when in reality she wants you to tickle her or chase her. She'll be like, chase me, and she'll run down the hall, and I'll chase her. So just whatever she wants to do. I will say this. Super Bowl, I think it was Super Bowl. I'm at John and Anna's house. John's wife's Anna. My wife and I are there. J-Bug wanted me to get into her doll house in the middle. It might have been the national championship game. I can't remember which one. I'm like, no, Jaden, I will not go in that.
You were in the house.
Sit.
You ended
Sit.
up in the house.
You went in the house.
You ended up in the
My
house.
nickname's Poopaw. Sit, Poopaw.
Oh,
okay.
No.
All right, I'm in the dollhouse. I'm in the Barbie dollhouse.
Yes,
in
that's
the middle.
the way it should have gone.
It was not good.
Thank you. It only would have been better if it had been at the very end of the Super Bowl. If you'd missed the end of the Super Bowl because you were in the dollhouse. Thank you, sir. Always good talking to you.
All right, guys. We'll see you.
Canseco playing badminton, that shuttlecock would have flown right back over the net. Games against you, man.
That was a very bad defense. Terrible defense. Look at this.
What do you mean that was terrible defense? What are we talking about here?
Whoa.
Oh, okay. See, that's much better defense.
No,
yes,
no.
Okay, yeah, see, that's much better. You're trying to hit me in the face. Look at what I'm doing here.
Do you question if Juan Calipari should be okay with this?
Juan, okay. Juan has been drafted by the Hispanics, evidently. I did not know that John Calipari was Hispanic. Yeah. Okay with what? What are these Kentucky players doing?
Oh, this right here. Oh, it's lit. It's lit.
What are we in? A mail carrier here? What's that?
Oh, they're going and dunking on baskets. Yeah. I mean,
Okay,
how could he not be okay with it when he did it himself?
Yeah, but maybe he's mad that they're dunking on a regulation-sized rim and they're showing him up because it's just like 4 feet tall.
No, Calipari allows these guys to do whatever they want. Why do you think they're all in school there? He allows everything.
Calipari should be very happy about that. He didn't have to pay them extra for that.
That he got for free. That's not nice, Poppy. Poppy, do you have anything you'd like to say to Juan Calipari?
Yes. I have to apologize, Juan, because I don't really know if those guys, they got paid. But I wonder, how did they get that car?
What kind of apology is that?
Do you question going when you gotta go?
Oh, my father's a big proponent. You gotta go, you gotta go. We go out to Vietnam. This is where we go to see if someone's gotta go.
Wait a minute.
Right there?
Wait, but why?
Oh, wow. Okay.
Why would you go into the rain in traffic when there's a perfectly fine windowsill that you could back into that seems to be covered and do it there?
Yeah.
Look at the puddle he's making.
Yep.
He really had to go.
Yeah.
If one of those motorcycles slips on it, this video gets instantly 10 times better.
Oh, there you go. How about that? How about some of that for you?
Yes!
That car urinated, that truck urinated right back on you.
Amazing. Oh, God.
That's your urine now on your face.
I kind of look like urine today.
I actually was thinking that your yellow shirt, we wouldn't know if that could have been you right before the show. We wouldn't even know.
People tuned in and like, that guy, he looks like urine.
Yeah.
Time to play the game that sweats when he eats. See? Or no?
Why he? I feel like she might also sweat when she eats, not just me. You tell us what's on television tonight. We'll tell you if we're intrigued or not.
On Sports Time Ohio, Angels and Indians.
Okay, not interested in this, but let's check in with Edwin Encarnacion. He was very good for the Blue Jays last year, and he's a really good power hitter. And look what he did last night for the Indians. Look at this here. Bases loaded situation. That's got to feel good. Nobody out. He was just looking for a single someplace. Just looking to make contact someplace.
That's contact.
Yeah, that is contact. He knows it's gone. That ends the game. Wow, he's enjoying that. Woo, a little bit of swagger, a little bit of strut.
Got some hip action.
Yeah, I mean, you must feel good. Sarah, are you intrigued?
I am intrigued, and that's because if I want the Indians to continue their success to go on to lose to the Chicago Cubs in a second straight World Series, they're going to need to put a gap between them and the Royals.
Poppy, what about you? Are you intrigued?
Oh, see, I'm very intrigued. Are you kidding me? This happens once in a blue moon. You know, it's the battle of the Ascos. You know, you got Nolascos pitching against Carrascos. You know, I'm telling you, this is the matchup that I have been waiting all my life. You know, this is it. This is what you live for. This is when you're a hell of a baseball fan.
God, I can't wait for the Ascos 30 for 30. That is going to be a killer.
How great would it be if Nolasco and Carrasco were both signed by the Astros?
Oh, we can all rhyme.
On NBC, the season finale of Little Big Shots Forever Young.
Yeah, this is the senior talent Olympics. I'm of the opinion that I could beat up every 88-year-old man in the universe, one after another, like a kung fu. No one can beat me, I believe. Let's see if this 82-year-old guy doing some sort of acrobatics or gymnastics is someone who can beat me up.
Oh, no.
Oh, this is what happens to the Cirque du Soleil people when they get into their 80s.
Is that Jack Palance? Wasn't that his name?
Jack Palance, yes, was his name, the old fitness person. Do we need to be wearing ties for this? This doesn't seem like something that required dress pants and ties.
If you were actually doing this in the office, do you think HR would step in? Whoa.
Whoa, yeah, that's pretty strong.
How
right
old
there.
are these dudes?
I mean, one of them's 82. I'm
You
assuming.
think you can beat him up still? Because that's some core strength.
Sarah, what about you? Are you intrigued?
Oh, very intrigued. I think this is a possible retirement plan if this show doesn't work out for you and Poppy.
Look at that, Poppy. Poppy can't even move around like that. Poppy, are you intrigued?
Oh, see, I'm very intrigued. But listen, in order to do that, you have to have very strong muscles.
Yes. That's
Like
true,
these
Poppy.
ones here.
Oh,
like these ones here.
No.
Oh,
no,
boy.
That's
no,
right.
no,
That's right. There you have it, you know.
Sarah, get out of there, Sarah. Sarah, get out
Built
of there.
for punishment.
I can't
Sarah,
move.
get out of there.
I can't
Look at
move.
this six-pack.
like
Built for punishment.
I feel like I can get out. I'm in the front.
What does that mean, built for punishment?
That's all the time we have for today. Thank you for watching.
What do you mean, built for punishment?
Au revoir. À demain.
We gotta bring Sarah more often. We've got 5 sponsors today. We never got any sponsor. We got 5 today.